be still for a moment. Not because you are waiting for something to happen, but because something is already listening. This is not a declaration you shout into the world. This is not desire trying to convince God. This is not effort. This is a prayer. And prayer, when spoken rightly, does not beg. It recognizes, you are not here to make wealth appear. You are here to remember that supply has never been absent, only unclaimed. There is a law older than fear, older than struggle, older than every story you were taught about money. And this law does not respond to worry. It responds to expectation. When the soul expects, the universe rearranges. So let your breath soften. Let the inner argument rest. For the moment you stop insisting, divine order steps forward. You do not need to convince life that you are worthy. Life already knows. The doors that open do not open by force. They open by alignment. And alignment begins when the heart says quietly, I accept what is already prepared for me. This prayer is not spoken to wealth. It is spoken from abundance. As these words move through you, something subtle begins to shift. Old resistance loosens. Old fear loses authority. The mind stops interrupting the flow. And in that stillness, supply finds you. Because what is divinely yours does not need chasing. It arrives when you are ready to receive. Infinite intelligence, divine source, the one presence that goes before me and makes the crooked places straight. I enter now into conscious communion with you. I release the habit of striving. I release the old belief that supply must be chased, earned through exhaustion, or proven through suffering. I rest my case. For you are not a distant power that must be persuaded. You are the very substance of supply itself, moving through form, order, timing, and opportunity. I acknowledge now that there is a perfect plan already established for my financial good. It exists independent of conditions, independent of markets, independent of human opinion. It is intact. It is whole. It cannot be delayed. I accept this as law. I give thanks that the reservoir of abundance is infinite and impartial. It withholds nothing. It responds only to recognition. And so I recognize that money is not my source. Employment is not my source. People are not my source. Circumstances are not my source. You are my source. And my source is unfailing. I speak now to every false agreement I have ever made with lack. I dissolve the belief that I must struggle to be safe. I dissolve the fear that says there is not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough favor. That belief has no authority here. I have learned that what I hold in consciousness must appear in experience. Therefore, I choose now to hold the image of divine supply, moving freely toward me, without obstruction, without conflict, without delay. I do not picture how. I do not outline the channels. I do not interfere with divine order. I simply accept the end. I accept abundance as natural. I accept financial ease as normal. I accept provision as inevitable. I understand now that the moment I stop arguing with good, good rushes in. So I quiet the mind. I soften the breath. I step aside. Let every anxious calculation fall away. Let every memory of disappointment lose its power. Let every inner voice that learned fear from the past be gently dismissed. It does not speak truth anymore. I give thanks that divine ideas are now taking form in my life. Ideas that lead to right action, right association, and right opportunity. Ideas that feel calm, not frantic. Clear, not forced. Natural, not desperate. I trust these ideas. I follow them without strain. I know that no good can pass me by. That which belongs to me by divine right moves toward me with certainty. I do not compete. I do not compare. I do not hurry. What is mine recognizes me. I affirm that the substance of abundance is already active in my affairs. It is rearranging details I cannot yet see. It is opening doors I have not yet noticed. It is preparing conversations, timing, and outcomes in perfect order. And I do nothing but receive. I receive with gratitude. I receive with humility. I receive with expectation. For expectation is faith made visible. I thank you that every obligation is met with ease, that every bill dissolves into provision, that every need is answered before it becomes a burden. I no longer carry financial pressure in my body. I release it from the breath. I release it from the chest. I release it from the mind. I choose peace as my financial atmosphere, and peace multiplies. I recognize that wealth is not hoarded energy, it is circulating life. As I allow it to move toward me, I allow it to move through me in wise, generous, and orderly ways. I become a clear channel. Nothing blocks me now. No past mistake, no missed opportunity, no delayed result. The law knows only now, and now I am aligned. I seal this prayer not with force, but with quiet certainty. Not with pleading, but with recognition. Not with effort, but with trust. I let go, and I let God. And so it is. I now turn inward, with compassion and truth. I acknowledge that much of what I once believed about money was never mine to begin with. It was inherited fear, borrowed limitation, unquestioned repetition. I gently release every memory where lack taught me to brace myself. Every moment where uncertainty trained my nervous system to expect disappointment. Every time I learned to tighten instead of trust. These memories dissolve now, not by force, but by understanding. I see clearly that fear was never a warning. It was a misunderstanding. There is no punishment in supply. There is no lesson in struggle. There is no virtue in scarcity. I forgive myself for believing otherwise. I forgive every authority, every voice, every circumstance that impressed fear upon my subconscious. They acted from what they knew. And now, I know better. I choose again. I choose to feel safe receiving. I choose to feel calm when money approaches. I choose to feel grounded when abundance expands. There is no shock in good. There is no guilt in overflow. I breathe deeply and allow the body to learn a new language. The language of sufficiency. Let the shoulders soften. Let the jaw release. Let the stomach unclench. I no longer expect loss after gain. I no longer wait for the other shoe to drop. I no longer rehearse failure to protect myself. Protection is not found in worry. Protection is found in alignment. I understand now that fear interrupts flow. And so I remove fear from my agreements. I withdraw my consent from every inner vow that said, I must struggle. I must sacrifice. I must prove. I must survive. These vows are canceled. In their place, I establish a new agreement. I live under divine order. I am sustained by divine intelligence. I am supported beyond my own effort. I give thanks that the subconscious accepts this truth without resistance. That it reorganizes itself around ease. That it learns safety and expansion. I do not need to control outcomes to be secure. I do not need to micromanage the future to be safe. The future is not hostile. It is responsive. I release the habit of scanning for what might go wrong. I train my awareness instead to notice what is already working. Gratitude recalibrates my inner world. I give thanks for visible provision. I give thanks for unseen preparation. I give thanks for protection I never noticed, and redirection I once misunderstood. Nothing has been wasted. Even delays served alignment. Even closed doors preserved dignity. Even detours protected timing. I trust the intelligence that governs my life far more than my own analysis. I allow wealth to arrive in ways that feel respectful, stable, and clean. I release the idea that money must come with stress attached. I no longer associate abundance with pressure. My nervous system learns ease. I affirm now that I am emotionally safe with money. I am mentally clear with money. I am spiritually aligned with money. Money recognizes clarity. I become comfortable holding more without tension. I become grounded as capacity expands. I remain centered as responsibility increases. I do not disappear when good grows. I stay present. I stay peaceful. I allow myself to enjoy provision without bracing for loss. Joy is permitted. I accept that divine supply arrives in proportion to readiness, not worthiness. And I am ready now. Ready to receive without fear. Ready to steward without anxiety. Ready to allow expansion without self-sabotage. I thank the subconscious mind for releasing old defense mechanisms, for standing down from hypervigilance, for trusting the new pattern. This pattern is peaceful. This pattern is sustainable. This pattern is true. I no longer look backward for evidence. I look inward for alignment. And alignment is present. I rest in this knowing. I settle into this peace. I allow the body, the mind, and the spirit to agree. Where there was tension, there is now trust. Where there was contraction, there is now flow. I accept this shift completely. And so it continues. I now step fully into the awareness that abundance is not something I visit. It is a state I inhabit. I release the idea that wealth is an event in the future. It is a condition of consciousness in the present. As I breathe, I allow this truth to settle into my identity. Not as affirmation repeated from the mind, but as recognition felt in the body. I am not becoming abundant. I am remembering what has always been true. I allow my posture to change, not physically, but internally. There is no shrinking here, no apologizing for capacity, no dimming to remain acceptable. I stand quietly in sufficiency. I understand now that wealth responds to inner authority, not control, not force. Authority. Authority comes from knowing who I am aligned with. I do not rush decisions born of fear. I do not cling to situations that no longer serve order. I move with clarity, not urgency. I give myself permission to choose what supports ease, to say no without guilt, to say yes without over-explaining. My choices reflect trust. I notice how abundance expresses itself naturally through me, as discernment, as timing, as confidence without arrogance. I am not here to impress life. I am here to cooperate with it. I trust that the right opportunities recognize my readiness. They approach me without pressure. They feel calm, clean, and appropriate. I do not override intuition in the name of speed. I allow wisdom to set the pace. There is no lack in waiting when waiting is guided. I affirm now that my environment responds to my inner state. As I carry order, order meets me. As I hold calm, calm organizes my affairs. I move through financial spaces with composure. I make decisions without panic. I evaluate without self-doubt. Clarity is my currency. I accept that my value is not negotiable. It is inherent. I no longer tie self-worth to income, nor diminish income to preserve humility. Both worth and wealth coexist without conflict. I hold more and remain grounded. I grow and remain gracious. I thank the intelligence within me for guiding every interaction, every conversation, every agreement. I trust myself to recognize what is aligned. I understand now that wealth does not require me to abandon my nature. It amplifies what is already true. I remain ethical as abundance grows. I remain kind as capacity expands. I remain present as responsibility increases. Nothing essential is lost. I accept that being well provided for allows me to be more generous with time, energy, and attention. This is not selfishness. It is circulation. I release the idea that struggle builds character. Character is revealed in ease. I allow abundance to normalize. I no longer react emotionally to numbers. They are information, not identity. They guide decisions, not self-perception. I remain steady. I feel now the quiet confidence of someone who trusts the process. There is no proving. There is no performance. Only participation. I accept that my life is arranged for support, that unseen systems cooperate on my behalf, that outcomes align without coercion. I do not rush what is unfolding correctly. I allow momentum to build naturally. I am patient without doubt. I am active without strain. I am open without vulnerability. This balance stabilizes my experience of wealth. I speak now from embodiment, not aspiration. I am supported. I am supplied. I am sustained. These are not hopes. They are acknowledgments. I thank this truth for expressing itself tangibly and consistently, for meeting needs before they become emergencies, for exceeding expectations without drama. I allow abundance to feel ordinary, peaceful, reliable, present. I settle into this state. I live from here now. I now open myself to divine orchestration, the unseen intelligence that arranges details beyond my planning. I acknowledge that timing is not random. Connections are not accidental. Opportunities do not wander aimlessly. Everything arrives by appointment. I release the urge to force outcomes. I surrender the habit of pushing doors that are not aligned. I trust that what opens easily is supported by law. I recognize now that my role is not to chase provision, but to remain available to it. Availability is an inner posture. So I become receptive. I become attentive. I become still enough to notice what is already moving toward me. I thank the intelligence that governs my life for aligning me with the right people, those who see clearly, act fairly, and operate with integrity. Those who recognize mutual benefit. Those whose success does not require my diminishment. I am matched appropriately. I trust conversations to unfold with clarity. I trust negotiations to resolve with balance. I trust decisions to land with certainty. There is no confusion in divine order. I release the belief that opportunity must be stressful to be legitimate. I no longer equate pressure with progress. Progress feels grounded. It feels orderly. It feels calm. I affirm now that the path before me is made visible one step at a time. I do not demand the entire map. I honor the guidance that arrives precisely when needed. I move when prompted. I pause when instructed. I rest when alignment deepens. This rhythm protects me. I acknowledge that unseen assistance is already active. Details are being coordinated. Timing is being refined. Circumstances are rearranging themselves in my favor. I do not interfere. I allow outcomes to mature fully before arrival. I give thanks that the right openings recognize my readiness and respond accordingly. They do not test me. They do not confuse me. They do not drain me. They support me. I affirm that my work, my presence, my contributions are valued appropriately. Compensation aligns with clarity. Exchange remains fair. I do not underprice my energy. I do not overextend my capacity. I operate within wisdom. I trust myself to recognize alignment when it appears. It feels clean. It feels respectful. It feels sustainable. I choose what allows longevity. I release urgency. Urgency clouds discernment. I replace it with certainty. I understand now that when I am aligned internally, the external must respond. I thank every redirection that preserved my dignity, every delay that protected my timing, every closed door that prevented misalignment. Nothing was lost. I welcome what arrives now, with ease. I allow provision to meet me in expected and unexpected forms. Through ideas, through invitations, through conversations that open pathways I could not have planned. I remain flexible without being ungrounded. I adapt without compromising truth. I trust intelligence to outpace effort. I affirm that the resources required for each next step arrive concurrently with the step itself. No sooner, no later. I am never ahead of supply. I am never behind it. I walk in sync. I give thanks that my environment reflects this order, that systems cooperate, that timing aligns, that outcomes resolve cleanly. I allow success to feel deserved without justification. I allow progress to continue without interruption. I am supported now, not eventually. I rest in this orchestration. I let it carry me forward. I now rest in completion. Not an ending, but a ceiling. I acknowledge that what has been spoken is already accepted, not because of repetition, but because of alignment. I do not revisit this prayer with doubt. I do not reopen it with questioning. I trust its fulfillment as law. I understand now that faith is not intensity. It is calm expectancy. So I remain calm. I do not watch the clock. I do not measure progress with impatience. I allow the unseen to complete its work without interference. I give thanks in advance not as superstition, but as recognition. Gratitude confirms receipt before form appears. I thank divine intelligence for supply that is already arranged, for outcomes already organized, for provision already moving. I release the need for signs. I release the need for reassurance. The inner knowing is sufficient. I live from certainty now. I allow abundance to express itself in consistent, practical, peaceful ways. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, but steady, reliable, sustaining. I welcome financial ease into daily life, into routines, into ordinary moments. This is where wealth becomes real. I remain attentive to guidance without obsession. I act when moved. I pause when directed. I trust the intelligence that knows more than I do. I understand now that receiving is not passive, it is cooperative. I stay open. I stay clear. I stay aligned. I release any final residue of fear, any lingering belief that good must be defended against loss. Good is self-sustaining. I accept that my life is now under grace, not strain. Under order, not pressure. Under provision, not anxiety. I choose to notice evidence of alignment as it appears. Small confirmations, quiet shifts, unexpected ease. I allow these without analysis. I do not rush to explain miracles. I let them stand. I affirm now that abundance remains with me because I remain with peace. I do not abandon calm when results appear. I do not revert to old patterns when capacity increases. I stay rooted. I thank myself for choosing trust over tension, for choosing recognition over striving, for choosing alignment over force. This choice sustains everything. I release this prayer fully. I do not hold on to it. I let it go into law. I carry on with my life, present, attentive, receptive. And as I do, supply continues to reveal itself naturally. I am at ease. I am provided for. I am aligned. And so it is.